the shape is pretty familiar, even if the name changed during last year. Was always the Honda Jazz to South Africa, but internationally it was always called the Fit, and they've changed the name to Fit in South Africa now. Does it fit the task? Does it fit the role? Well, I think it does in this B segment hatch, that's for sure, because it's got a lot of little things that do fit for purpose. You've got, of course, protection headlights over here. You've got this really interesting pearl white color of the car, which has stood out nicely. 16-inch mag wheels over there. All these features, of course, you come to expect. The very narrow split A-pillar with the extra window over here, which I can tell you from the driver's seat makes a very big difference to your visibility in front, parking garages, etc. A nice little feature, that one over there. Something, of course, that is very, very different and exclusive to Honda is what they call their magic seats. You notice over here I've got the one part set in magic seat setting, and of course, because the whole seat lifts out the way, look at the height you've got in the back over here for loading and the space you can create. It really is amazing. A good friend of mine carries a bicycle in here without taking wheels off, anything like that. You also look at the passenger, the far seat over there. The driver's seat is set for myself. So look at the legroom you've got in the back of this car. Again, really is spacious, and you have got a USB port in the center over there for back seat passengers. Important, and what they will always want, you know that. So keep that one in mind. We come round to the rear, and you pick up, of course, now the name changed to Fit. The rear tail lights have changed a little bit, very prominent, nice ones, no problem there. And of course, pop open the boot. You can now see the split on the rear seats, because when you're in magic seat setting, of course, remember that the seat does stay in place. You do still have the option of the normal way of folding down a seat over there as well, if you wanted just a large flat area. So it gives you all the options. And under all of this, you have got a space saver spare wheel. So just remember, the emergency spare wheel, not a normal one. Well, as I said, the shape, the bodywork is pretty familiar, but it's there for you. Powered by a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine, 89 kilowatts, 145 newton meters of torque. We'll talk about that again just now. Jumping in behind the wheel, we look at the instrumentation. You've got your TFT screen in front of the driver. What you do have that I do find interesting is the very low flat dashboard in front of you, and you can see very deep dash effect as well. So you know there's a very short bonnet in front of you for parking purposes. It does make it easy. And there's that extra window I was talking about just now that gives you that extra sideways view that I think is pretty useful. Okay, well, looking at the dashboard, it's TFT, but it's basic, but it gives you everything you want. We've averaged 7.3 liters per 100 kilometers so far on this test. Fairly limited mileage we've done, I have to admit, and also it has been basically urban driving. So I think it's pretty much as bad as it's likely to get with this car. Can I term it that way and leave it at that? You come across over here, you've got your stop-start ignition button over there. You've got cruise control on the car as well, and of course all your other controls on your steering wheel. That's all normal. Auto on headlights, which is a nice feature on this one. Thank you for that, Honda. And of course you've got your controls for your door locks, which do lock automatically on pull-off, and windows over here next to you. Another feature I do quite like is these very deep, significant cup holders at the two ends of the dash, as well as in the center. But those ones there, nice for a nice big bottle if you're on the open road and driving open road. So again, features that I am noticing that I do pretty much like. We come across to the center over here, and to tell you, this is the middle spec Elegance model. You do get a Comfort, Elegance and Executive in the range, all with the same engine, same gearbox, etc., but just with different spec levels. And there are two features that tell you you're definitely in the Elegance. You get the touchscreen, the 8-inch touchscreen over here, nice and prominent over there, sitting on top of the dash over there with your aircon vents on each side. And the other thing is, if we look at the back seat now, you'll see the seat trim is a combination of cloth and leather. So it really is the middle one, because in the base comfort you get cloth only, and in executive you get leather only. So there you go, you know which model you're in. The other big thing that the executive has that we don't have here is, just bring the camera down to the center console over here. This one just has an econ button for econ mode. In the executive version, you get the multi-mode. You get econ, normal, and sport modes. I don't think it matters in a car like this, quite honestly, and I certainly wouldn't pay more money just to get that feature. But that's me. Your screen, let's just jump back to it. Everything you want from it, everything you would expect. You've, of course, got a smartphone connection. You've got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. They work nicely. I have used them on this test, so I can vouch for that. You just press, obviously, and whatever you want, USB, trip computer. I'm just showing you various items over there, telling me the range that's still left in the tank. Come down. Your automatic air conditioning works well. No, nothing really more to comment other than that. Below, this is nice over here. You've got two USBs and a 12-volt socket right here in front. Useful, nice to have. And a space for your phone over there that does have a little bit of a rough surface to hold it in place. Gearbox. Well, it's Honda's CVT automatic gearbox. It's not quite the smoothest I've encountered, I have to be honest. And this is one of, I often comment that I don't mind CVT gearboxes and I find them okay. On this one, I've just found there is that little bit of CVT drone, a bit more than I've come to notice in many, many other cars, but it's smooth, it operates nicely, and you do have electronic parking brake and a brake hold over there as well. So you've got those mod cons, can I call it, and more cup holders, as I mentioned. Well, the Honda Jazz certainly had a reputation second to none in South Africa. The change of the name to Fit, I don't think makes any difference. Quite honestly, it's going to continue, and we will carry on seeing it doing that for us over here. Of course, the question is price, and that's always a crucial one. Well, the one we're in right now, in the middle of the price range, is 370,700 Rand. You can get into the comfort version, same engine, for 300, and I'm going to round it off to 330, or you're going to go to just on 400,000 Rand for the executive version. They do throw in a hybrid version as well for 484,000 Rand, but that's not what we're talking about right now. You do, of course, get a 4-year, 60,000 kilometer service plan as well. Jeremy Clarkson of Top Gear kind of ruined the marketing of this car in my book by saying it was for ladies with blue rinse hair only. But I think he was a little bit harsh on that point. But it certainly is one of those cars that is just comfortable, easy to drive, easy to live with. And you always know the reputation of Honda worldwide and in South Africa that you're never going to go wrong with it. There are so many competitors, I'm not going to go down that road right now, but nobody else does give you the magic seating option thrown in that is just a little USP that Honda have to add to their versatility. Overall, I suggest you, in this kind of market, go for a test drive and see for yourself. For Motor Matters, I'm Alan R. I'll see you next time.